So these are my drawings. I've got 2 ideas. You've been asked to come up with 3 ideas. I've got this quite geometric one here, and I've tried to show shading to give it an element of 3D about it. I've also done a top view and a side view, so you've got a better understanding of what I'm trying to make. So I'm going to open up my clean clay. So I'm going to start with a smaller piece of clean clay and work it in my hand. I've managed to roll my clean clay into a ball. It's reasonably soft. I'm going to press it down onto the tile, lift it, press it down again. I'm now going to use the Perspex rolling pin just to roll it out a bit more. It's also worth turning it over every now and then so that you're smooth on both sides. So this ring, I don't want to make it too thin. I've rolled my clay till it's about 10 millimeters, a centimeter thick. I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to smooth the surface off really, really lightly, almost like I'm polishing with my finger. If I push too heavily, I'll get fingerprints in it, and I don't really want that. And also I can feel a little bit of unevenness in my surface, so I'm just going to roll that over again, quite lightly. I'm going to flip it over and do it on the other side. Now you'll notice as you're using this, it's really easy to put unwanted marks in it, so you need to work lightly. If the clay gets too soft because you've handled it too much, pop it in the fridge or the freezer for 10 minutes or so, and that should make it a bit stiffer and perhaps a little easier for you to work with. Okay, I'm happy with that shape. So I'm going for this curved triangular shape. So I'm going to start by cutting the bottom side of the ring. So I'm going to scribe my line through the clay like this, and now I'm going to slowly work my way down. Any offcuts, ball up and place with your other pieces. So I've got a cut edge here. It's not super neat, but I'm going to work on neatening that up shortly, and it's got a curve in there that I'm happy with. Okay, I'm going to try and scribe my other curves of the triangle. One like that and one like that. So I'm going to cut this one in sections slightly differently. I'll get a cleaner cut and I can smooth it off when I'm done. Again, ball your offcuts up and add them to your pile. I'm going to rotate this around, do the same thing again. So I'm not trying to cut a curve in one go, I'm just trying to trim along my score line so I can smooth it up afterwards. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now there's a couple of ways I can approach this. I can rock it on the surface like this to start smoothing it off, and then I can work really lightly with my fingers along these cut edges. This one is still a little lumpy and bumpy, so I'm just going to rock it a few more times. And you can see I'm starting to get quite a smooth edge, but I've got a few dents in there, so I need to work on those lightly with my finger. Once I'm happy with that side, I'll move on to my other edges as well. Once you're happy with the outside shape, and it's important to remember every mark on this clean clay will show on your finished piece of jewellery, so the smoother you can get it now, the much happier you'll be, and the less smoothing work you'll have to do later on when it's cast in resin. Work lightly, and if the clay is too soft, put it in the fridge for a little while. One of the things you need to remember when you're designing your piece is that one surface has to have a good connection with the tile, because you're going to put a form around the outside of the ring that will form the vessel into which you will pour your liquid silicone, and then it will set in there. So you don't want any silicone to leak and go underneath your piece, otherwise your clay or your jewellery design will be completely encapsulated in the silicone and you won't be able to get it out very easily. I'm going to use this piece of copper tubing to cut out the ring hole, and I don't want to go too close to the edges because it will break. So I'm just going to work this down slowly and carefully. Twist it without damaging what I've already done. And then slowly lift it out. And you can see now I have a ring shape. I've just got a little cleaning up to do on this edge here.